Louis Zongtu, and Miss Maria C.T. Zwali, MCS, my senior and junior colleagues, officers from the Mizoram University, prominent citizens, other distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege to extend a very warm welcome to the Honorable Vice Chancellor and all of you on behalf of this organizing committee, UGC Women's Study Center, Mizoram University, on this very occasion of the International Women's Day celebration. So this is a day to celebrate and cherish women's contribution to this society and their struggle for equality, justice, peace, and development. The everyday, actually, women who strive hard at home or workplace, their struggle for their equality and justice, peace, and development. So actually, these women are working very hard, of course, which we call it's a men's world, like in the farms or construction sites, in factories or mills, women who have actually crossed the borders and scaled new heights. We salute all these women of substance, rich and poor, old and young, specially abled for their grit, resilience, and wisdom. So the International Women's Day has been celebrated every year, even on the platform of United Nations. So since 20th century. So even the UGC Women's Study Center has also been celebrating this very day, that is 8 March, International Women's Day, since its inception, that is in 2016. So this year's celebration program has been actually initiated by the ACAM, that is Ministry of Women and Child Development, Government of India. They have written to the authority of the Mizoram University, and the organizing part is fallen on the UGC Women's Study Center. This is how we actually organize. Otherwise, we have been organizing, and even today also we are a part of the organizing team, even in other events under this government of Mizoram and with other NGO, women NGOs also. So International Women's Day is also a time to reflect on progress made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who have played an extraordinary role in the history of their countries and communities. So as I had already mentioned, that the UN has been actually giving out its theme since 1975. So this year UN theme is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. So we can have our own regional or local theme also relating to this theme. So that's why we choose to have a change maker as a theme of our celebration, International Women's Celebration today by the UGC. So accordingly, we could invite our guest of honor and a special guest who are a change maker of today, of this world. So that's how we have been doing this. So anyway, this gender equality today for our sustainable tomorrow envisions a world where each woman and girl can exercise her choices, such as participating in politics, getting an education, having an income, and living in societies free from violence and discrimination. Well, there has been many achievements since then. Many serious gaps still remain. So this is the time to uphold women's achievement, recognize challenges, and focus greater attention on women's rights and equality, to mobilize all people to the their paths. So let me greet and welcome all of you once more to this celebration with the spirit of all women across the globe. So with this few words, I extend my warm welcome to Honorable Vice Chancellor, our chief guest, and our special guest of honor, P. Lal Limpui, a former minister, then Ms. Maria C.T. Zwali, who is now an MCS officer as a joint secretary, Food and Civil Supply, Consumer Affairs and Planning. So I also extend my warm welcome to all the participants of this very program. So may I kindly now invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor to inaugurate our program. May I kindly invite Professor KRS Samba Sivarao to inaugurate our program. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Jovi, madam. It was really wonderful that you are initiated a very good program today, and it was a very pertinent topic. It was, I can say, the future of the change maker. The Mizoram is a very pertinent topic for today's seminar, and I always say that Mizo women are actually a model women for the whole country. And always I say that Mizo women are having a lot of the disadvantages over other women in the country, having a special identity in Mizo community. And also they are well respected by all the people for their responsibility, family responsibility and dedication for family development. So it was very nice of you to choose the topic which is very pertinent for today, like she is a change maker. And on this occasion, I thank the chief guest and the P. Lal Limpui, former minister of Mizoram state, and also Wanlal Pui, former minister of Mizoram, and the Maria additional secretary, MCS Mizoram government, for accepting our invitation and joining on this day. How women can change the society and also the state of Mizoram. And always it is very joyful and to talk on this occasion, particularly when about women of Mizoram. It was always pleasant and also very happy to say few words to everyone in the whole country. Mizo women are really, today also I have shared my greetings with all the people, how Mizo women are responsible, leading the family and also responsibility of developing livelihood for the family system, and how they are actually that particular photograph. I searched for that particular photograph in Google and I selected that photograph for making everyone to realize that Mizo women are so much responsible for society development and also family development in Mizo community. And I always say that Mizo people, I give a lot of respect for women, but simultaneously I respect Mizo men also, because this is very important. In a system like Mizo system or family system, both should be coordinating and also understanding, and then only the family system will be very much flourished in the system. Mizo men are also been very well behaved and respecting women. Particularly this particular contest, I should mention that Mizo women can go any place, even at midnight, 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock individually, and without any fear, without any terror and without any problem, they can even travel anywhere. So this is the kind of the true independence for women and gender equality. The even the theme of this International Women's Day for the 2022 is also gender equality. And it was actually very pertinent topic, and it is Mizoram is one of the
Trong Don
best
Pansalan
example for this particular one. In this particular one, that Mizo women are a model for this particular true gender equality and also the true independence of Mizoram women always. And also mention how responsible they are actually. This is one of the important point I just want to mention. I was recently traveling from Aizawl to Calcutta by a Indigo flight, and I was in my side by side one girl, actually Mizo girls traveling with me. And I was asking her, she's a young girl, unmarried girl. And I was asking her, what are you doing? Because normally when anybody is sitting with me, I was asking her, what are you doing and what is your background, like that. I just asked her. She said, I'm from Aizawl only, but I'm working in a shipping company of Apro Asian company as a food technologist and food specialist. And she was telling me that I'm so poor. My parents are actually, they started some small business and to grow ourselves, and that is not even sufficient. They are not even educated. I'm also not that much educated, but I passed out 12th standard from Mizoram Aizawl, and I just joined in 1,000 rupees salary a few years back at Bangalore. And now I have become one of the highly earning person. I will be traveling to many European countries regularly, and have been earning so much money. And in a short span of 40 minutes, I could able to interact with her very nicely. The way why I'm trying to tell here, the responsibility of a girl to uplift her family and to see that her daughter, her sister should also read well. She could not study well, and she's committed herself with 12th standard pass out, and she has started salary with 1,000 rupees, and now she is earning more than 1.5 lakh salary while traveling to many European countries regularly for 9 months on board. And she was actually food technologist, food specialist, and catering specialist. And she was mentioning me that my family should be grown well, and I wanted to support my family. This is what actually that girl responsibility I wanted to bring to your kind information. This is what Mizo girls are actually being so responsible for their family. And I also tell you another example, whether you are aware of this or not, during this present war which is going on in Ukraine with Russia, and many people are getting died, and many people are scared, and people are going away from Ukraine, and Russia also. People are coming back to country. But I was told that the nursing girls who hails from Mizoram are working in Ukraine, they were telling that we don't go back to India. We will work here and we will serve the patients here in Ukraine. This is what actually the dedication of Mizo women, how they are actually been performing even elsewhere, not in India, not in Mizoram. They were actually in Ukraine. But I was told that it is, I was not been really come across that girls' names or any other things. But actually I was told by some of the people that the Ukraine nurse girls, actually working in Ukraine hospital, they mentioned very clearly that we don't want to go back to India. This is what dedication, commitment, and service orientation of Mizo girls. So I really appreciate the Mizo girls and Mizo women for their bravery and for their commitment, dedication, and service orientation to the society. And they are the real change maker. I appreciate that this topic is a very pertinent topic to Mizo girls. Mizo girls, Mizo women are very wonderful people in the whole country that no one else can be comparable with Mizo girls. I strongly support this particular one. I feel that Mizoram is going to be very, very beautiful and very promising state in future with the enlightenment and also the dedication of the women in the administration and development of Mizoram government. and Mizoram state. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to say a few words with a strong respect and high respect towards Mizo women. I always appreciate them, that their discipline and commitment and liveliness and hospitality. I always cherish their presence with me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Such a very befitting and very, what we call it, educative and informative, and at the same time, very encouraging inauguration speech. So thank you so much, and thank you for actually honoring all the women, especially living in this very state of Mizoram, and recognizing their contribution this very society, to this very nation, and to this world. Thank you so much for that. So I also convey my gratefulness to you, and in spite of health problem, you could spare your valuable time, and really this shows your keen interest towards women's development, women's empowerment, and to bring gender equality to this world as far as possible. So with this few words, I say once again thank you for your inaugural speech, sir. And just let me introduce P. Lallimpui, a former Minister of State, Mizoram, and P. Maria Siti Zwali. So I will go first to P. Lallimpui. P. Lallimpui, who was born in 1951, and she obtained her BA honors in geography to become the first person from among the society, and the first master degree in geography, so among the Mizo society. And well, she was sitting in her class, and she was always the outstanding student. Then she joined Pachunga Memorial Government College, Aizawl College. Now it became Pachunga University. So he joined in 1977 and retired in October 2017 as associate professor under this constituent university, that is Pachunga University College. Then she was serving in this college, and she also entered into the politics from 1987 to 1988, and then she was a minister of state also. Then she had been, of course, she was in college as a head of department. And when she retired, she was a vice principal of Pachunga University College. So during her period, she had immense contribution to the academic program, even for the development of the academic. Then, as I said, that she joined the politics where Mizoram got its status, that is a statehood. Then the first election took place in 1987, and in that period, during that time, the leader of the MNF party was Pu Laldenga. Then, because of the keen interest and understanding of Pu Laldenga, who wants the women should also participate in the politics and to become a change maker. So she invited P. Lallimpui. I really admire, and I really remember how P. Lallimpui shared her experience about this, new experiences also in the politics. So because of his, painstaking effort that P. Lallimpui could also contest and got elected, then she too also win in the election, then was elevated to the position of the Minister of State, having portfolio like labor and employment and other what we call it departments also. So during her tenure as a minister also, she had made so many contributions also and become a pioneer of many of the departments now. So for the computerization of the state government functioning was also actually initiated by her department under her portfolio. That is how we come to know about P. Lallimpui, and she's still very active. And then very much alert, I mean, regarding this. And then she too also, of course, engaged herself in women organization also. So, and then very much active in the church activities also as a leader of the women like that. And then she is a mother of two sons, and they are living with the husband right now in Thak Thing Dam Veng Nuai Kan Tizok Ma Ang Chu. So that means she belongs to that. So with these few words, I welcome P. Lalhimpui. Then let me just introduce P. Maria Siti Zwali. I think we know her, P. Maria Siti Zwali also. She is a history maker, I should say like that, who is a change maker. So in the recent past, and then about Siti Maria, Maria Siti Zwali, I mean, was actually written in all the news, I mean, leading newspapers, I mean, national level, and even the state level also. And everywhere in the social media, she was seen, and people were actually appreciating the acts that has been put forth for the cause of the good governance in the state of Mizoram. So that part might not be required to go in detail. So she is, as I had already mentioned, that she is a member of the Mizoram Civil Service, I mean, who entered this civil service means in 1998. If I do remember correctly, and then she would correct me, well, she take her time. So she is a master degree holder in the discipline of education. Then some of her experience as an official there under the government of Mizoram may be shared here. Officer on special duty in elections department 1998-1999, and in 2000 she was an SDC insertship. Then in 2000 to 2002 she was APO DRDA in Aizawl district. Then in 2002 and 2006 assistant director LAD and deputy director LAD. And in 2006 and 2008, under Secretary Planning Department, and 2008 and 9, SDO Sadar in Lunglei District. Then in 2009 and 2011, Joint Director ATI. Then in 2011 to 2013, PD and DRDM scholarship. And in 2013 and 2018, Director SIRD, and in 2018, and 4 months, Joint Secretary, Planning, Printing and Stationery. She was actually a Deputy Commissioner in Champhai. So that is how we know better about P. Maria, Siti Zwali's contribution to this very state. So in 2018 to 2020, she was an IG of prisons also. Then in 2020 to 22, Deputy Commissioner of Champhai, and 20 to 22, Additional Secretary Planning, Food, Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs. I know I've been actually associating with her wherever she goes, wherever she is posted. She has been posted also. She always gives us a room for women, even including me at my own small capacity. She always asks me to render a small service also. I know her well. She was in the prisons also. We could visit even the women prisons also. Women Central Jail and the government of Mizoram. We could have a program also in the capacity of UGC Women Study Center, in the capacity of a member of, State Commission for Women, something like that. So I know her, and then if I am to tell, about her detailed experience, and they would not be, sufficient enough. So we are too grateful to P. Lalhimpui and too grateful to P. Maria Siti Zwali for agreeing and gracing this occasion as a guest of honor, in this very program. And for that also, on behalf of the organizing team and on behalf of the Mizoram University, I say a big thank you to both of you. So regarding Pilal Ompui Chongthu, a former minister, Mizoram state, she actually sent her, regrets, because her father is fallen sick and his condition is very critical. Even this morning also. So that's why she could not turn up in this very program. And she also sent her best wishes to, the success for this very program also. So let me just highlight a few things of this Pilal Ompui Chongthu also. She too is a change maker, of course, and then she belongs to Congress party. And during the last Congress, ruling period, and she was, actually given opportunity to become an MLA, the seat vacated by Pulal Thanhola, of that chief minister at that time. Then she had been an elected MLA in the vacated constituency of Pulal Thanhola. Then after 2 years, then she was given elevated to the position of the Minister of State, then looking after this Women Commission and then women, social welfare and others also. So during her period also, she could make many of the positive change and bring such kind of wonderful, positive, contributions to the society also. And she was also a chairman of the State Commission for Women also, including Pilal Limpui also. Well, she was, in Pachunga University, she was appointed as a chairperson of the State Commission for Women. So if I do not make, a mistake. So this is how, we have such, wonderful people who are really a change maker of this, today's. So I now shouldn't take much, long anymore in introducing our guest and our special guest. And with due permission of our chief guest, and then may I now invite Pilal Limpui to actually deliver a speech as a guest of honor. I would call first, since he is a senior than, our special guest in years, even in service also, but in different fields. So Pilal Limpui, you can share even in Mizo also, whatever you feel like more comfortable, even in Mizo or in English also, with due permission of our chief guest, our Vice Chancellor, Professor K.R.S. Basivarao, and other participants, on this very program. So you kindly bear with us. So we are giving, Pilal Limpui such kind of freedom in whatever language she is comfortable, she would actually give us such, guest of honor speech. So Pilal Limpui, kan so mache, kan lome. Thank you.
Honorable Chief Guest, Professor K.R.S. Basivarao, Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University, Professor Rel Nezavi, Coordinator, Honorary Director, UGC Women's Studies, and Dr. Lertan Pui Ralte, Organizing Secretary and Associate Professor in the Department of Public Administration, MZU, and other distinguished guests and participants. First of all, let me wish you all a very, very International Women's Day. I have to be excused because I do not know your topic before. So whatever comes into my mind, I'm just going to speak out.
Yes.
Yes. When I was first invited by you, Annie, to participate in this occasion and accepting her invitation, I asked myself, what should I say? So, what should I say in front of just ST persons? So a thought stuck in my mind was gender bias. Gender bias. And this happens to be the theme given internationally this year, 2022, that is break the bias to achieve a gender equal world. So I'm going to speak in Mizoram context, and this theme of 2002 breaking the bias goes well along with my speech also, I suppose. The gender bias that the women folk of the Mizo had long undergo and suffered from a long time unknown. This gender bias among the Mizo society reflects the unwelcome attitudes of men towards women. Women, in addition to performing their traditional role of housekeeping, and are also responsible for looking domestic animals, drawing water from the village spring, and fetching firewood from the forest. And in addition to these hard works, she is also expected to help in the paddy field. If we compare with the social life of traditional Hindus and Muslims, Mizo society is free so far as the mixing of men and women are concerned. But we still face the lifelong biased attitudes of men in some forms or other. I would like to point out that even though we Mizos women have been steadily emancipated from its long suffering, but there is still some form of discrimination of men towards women folk in the field of social, political, and even in religious fields. So to strengthen my point, I would like to give you an example from my past experience. See, back in 1987, I was chosen to be a MLA candidate in one of the constituencies. So when they hear about that I'm going to field in that constituency, the party workers do not want me. They grumble. You know why? It's because I'm a female candidate. So that's still prevalent till today, having a women candidate in our constituency. So after much persuasion and negotiation with the party, workers relented, and I become their candidate. And luckily, I was declared elected. Thank God. Another important point I want to share here today is about Mizo women not in an attitude mood to join politics. We women seem to take less interest to be involved in political fields than men. The cause of not involving or unwillingness in the administrative fields may be due to maybe due to socio-economic factor or other reasons. So today, in this auspicious day, I therefore honestly request and invoke all my fellow Mizo women folks to rise up and answer the call, try to make themselves available to fill at the administrative post, be it member of legislative assembly or a councillor or village level also. So that I conclude my English portion, and in mother tongue I would like to say a few words also. Please allow me. Wala hianin kamizo pui may chia zong zong te in the Vain International Women's Day chibai kabuk chawani wala hian kasia chua in hela hun to te chua soitura ka hanin ka ngai to chu kan Bible akhan o Genesis bung katang som ni pasarya khan ti chuan pathian ni nama an puin mising asiama patianan puinge inan ya asiam ni tia bu chang som thum pakhata chuan ti chuan pathianin athi siam tin reng chuena ngai te tha ti em ma chu wangin pathian hian athi siam zong hi mi pal mi sia te pom mi siama chu mi tel chuan tha ti em mani ti kha bon hian shenon leila mi pal mi sia te po kanin pathianin tha ti ani chumia wang chuan voina kan thu pui be bi hi internet ta ka kala ka ne wang mi lo sa tia mo lang in topic khatami kha ka lo sa lo maya ka mi lo sa tia mo lang in hey politics ate village level ate councillor ate le MLA changin legislative assembly changin politics hianin me chia hi kan lut claim kho maya population ngai to in mi pa ai me chia kan tam zokin ka hele ngala chuti chung chuan kan ai o tu pakhat ma kan ni reng lo ni MLA ngat phi chuanin chu wang chuan kali ro hi ana ve china itimayang tu ma kan ai o tu alum lo hi chu wang chuan voin ro pui tak kan phana hianin kan ve che pui ti song ha fuin da thu karon thon du chewa tu ma me chia ni wanga kil toilovin kan ke mani kan chung kwa ina har san na kan ni lo chuan ke mani po hi telve tur kan ni politic fil te hian ramro rel da te hian telve tur kan ni ti hi in se thar leila thain ka sia in kil toimia lo wilangin me chia kan dia wanga ramro rel na telve lo tur in ngai ngot bokha dik dik chuang lo wa chu bang chuan he kan ngai tu ana tu ma tanga lo om te ma engani dal set ta hianin ala tok lo wa ai sa te central service sa te lu turin to he kan intina sa ma kan sarkar point sa tagin na thoka amaro chu ramro rel na ko hian me chia te lu tur hian kan injirti lo ani injirti da atlem ni tila adik ome chu wang chuanin tu ma me chia kan dia wang khan kil toi chang lovin pathia din til siaman adu me pesing mi kan dia heram ro rel na hian kan tel ve tur ani ti kha serengila boina hianin chu karon sai do so tu ta mga khatyam zo khatwan amara su mudang tu po sai turan la om ve ka do chok khat mai nge kalome.
Thank you so much, Pilim Pui, for your wonderful speech and sharing your wonderful experiences as an academician and as a politician and a political leader also. So we feel very proud of you. Actually, on this very occasion, we really honor you and then give you the highest award for your due contribution to this very society. So she has been contributing in many ways, I know, and then she talked about a lot, and then for the non-Mizo language speaking, what she has shared her experience in Mizo may be slightly narrated or maybe slightly, translated in a very brief. Political executive, well, she was elevated to the position of this, Minister of State during 1987 to 1988. So the very government could not make, one full term. So their government was actually fallen. Then after that, she could never, become an MLA again, then even a minister also. So what she felt and shared with us is this, that political empowerment is a much needed among the Mizo society. So now we have 40 members of a Mizoram State Legislative Assembly. Out of these 40, we don't have even a single female MLA as a state legislator. This is very heartening. Then we have this, Autonomous District Council. In this Autonomous District Council, since 1953, 54, like that, then after we attained UT and after we attained our state, and we could never have even a single female chairperson, chairman, or chief executive member of the Autonomous District Council. So she really felt such, a big, hurdles, because our society is a man-made society and it is dominated by men, especially in the political field. Then when we look at this Aizawl Municipal Corporation, again, we could never have even a mayor as a female member. So till now also, even a deputy mayor also. So they could not be given such important position. Then when we come to see the local governance, village council and this local council, we could have, of course, the seat reservation. But in this seat reservation also, it is much lesser than 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. So I remember, let me just my experience with Pilal Limpui also. Panchayat Mahila Sakti Abhiyan Core Committee was constituted by the government of Mizoram way back in 2008 February. So we were in this very committee, Pilal Limpui, myself, and other 15 members also. So I was appointed as a chairperson of this very committee, knowing that due to the painstaking effort put by Pilal Limpui and other members also, that seat reservation should be made, because elected position is never been actually a position of female unless and until seat reservation is made as per the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. So we fought, and accordingly that demand was fulfilled by the government in 2009. Then the Mizoram Municipalities Act was actually amended, then inserting Article 243T, in that. So since then, we could have a seat reservation for women in the local self-governance institutions like village council, like local council, and AMC only. So the state and MP seat reservation is not the purview of the state government, and it is the purview of the parliament. It will come, a time will come that, because this political empowerment is really important for female. Without half of the population of the, total population of the country can never achieve its height. So that's why, to bring socio-economic development and to make a better planet of this nation, then the participation of women in decision making, and they can become a change maker. Of course, they have been making a change maker in many fields, but unless and until political backup, political support, and political leadership is granted, and it would be very difficult. That aspect has been stressed by P. Lallim Pui. Thank you so much for your kind contribution, and at the same time, your interest and your, what we call it, contribution to this society. And thank you for giving us a very befitting and very wonderful guest of honor speech to this very occasion also. We know young people, like a student in the university, a scholar in the university and colleges, and women in different fields, and then in the NGO also, they really felt a need to have these women in our society. When we talk about women position in Mizoram, see, women are actually given a lower position always. So when we talk about, employment, women are becoming very less. And right now, how many deputy commissioner lady we have? And we know P. Maria Mingliani, Siti Zwali has been transferred recently. So how many deputy commissioner lady we have? 1, 2 maybe only. So like that, a critical decision making is also important where women are to participate, not only in political field. Then when we talk about the church activities, you know, women are not to be ordained pastor, are not to be ordained minister or upas and deacon. So especially the largest denomination, church, that is Presbyterian Church. P. Lim Pui knows so well. So only in Baptist, church, that they could nominate, ordinate only one lady as a pastor. Then after that, no women has been, ordained. So this is the situation we have. When we talk about NGO and all, YMA and all, women can never become a leader of this central YMA and all, even the branches also. But to say a name, that P. Rothang Pui, Teresa Rothang Pui in Sairang YMA branch, she could be YMA president. She could do well, and she did better than average. YMA president, male president also. We know her. We are very proud of her. So that is how we do. So when the seat reservation was fought by us with P. Lallim Pui and all, and then how much we actually persuaded and even lobbied and demanding even to the government of Mizoram, including the chief minister, and then all other minister, and then MLA members and all, like NGO leaders and all, even the governor, even we submitted a memorandum also to the president of India and the prime minister of that time, like that. So things are changing in a, slowly in a positive way. So P. Lim Pui is always a change maker in that way also. So this is what I want to share, and that is what I want to tell also. So I say thank you so much, P. Lim Pui, and based on the information that has been given by P. Lallim Pui, you may also, the participant may also put in the chat box or in the Q&A questions or Q&R, then you can also actually participate in that way. So this is our humble request as an organizing team, and Dr. Lallim Pui will be administering that aspect, of course. Then may I now kindly invite the Maria Siti Zwali, who is very due. I don't know when she will be elevated to the position of an IAS, and then I keep asking her, and without that also, she is a big change maker already now. So we are very proud of the Maria Siti Zwali also because of the tremendous contribution for the good governance in this very state. As I said, she was in all the media, and her was actually a hot debate, I should say. So that is how she becomes a change maker, and she really fought for corruption also. Then we support her, and we are behind you always. P. Maria, with these few words, I welcome you once again, and let me invite you to give guest of honor speech. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible,
Okay.
please.
Greetings to you all, to our respected chief guest, Professor KRS Rao, and the guest of honor, P. Lalhimpui, and Professor Lal Ani, and Dr. Lal Chanpui, Madam. It's such a privilege for me to be invited as a special guest in the celebration of International Women's Day. I am really happy, really from the bottom of my heart, because I was chosen to have a special slot in the celebration of International Women's Day today. And when I look at the topic, the theme is a change maker, and it elevated me that I was designated as one of the change maker amongst the Mizo women. That makes me very happy. But these days I was quite busy unpacking, packing, because I was just moving down from Champhai, and then being a mother, I have to oversee that everything are in place. And whenever we move from one place to another, it takes us a month to find where we put those things, where are our clothes, where are our crockery, something like that. But in spite of my very, very busy schedule, I feel that I should participate in this wonderful day, because it is for us women. This day is for us. So I really appreciated Mizoram University, especially Professor Ani, Dr. Lal Chanpui, for hosting such this wonderful program for Mizo women. So being an educationist, my topic, what I like most about is transfer of learning. When I was doing my MA degree, Professor Wangu said, everything is transferred, learning is transferred. If you know how to ride a bicycle, it is easy to learn how to ride a bike. And if you know how to ride a bike, it is easy to drive a car, something like that. Mother of three, has been acting as a magistrate in my household, because children's, always fighting each other, and I have to resolve their problems, make peace amongst my children. So being a mother tremendously helped in my administration as well. And whenever I undergone training in my capacity as project director, in my capacity as director SIRD also, being a mother tremendously helped, because women, we are multitasker, we multitask. I'm an administrator, I'm a mother, a homemaker, and I cook as well. When you cook in the morning, you juggle, you have to cook rice, you have to cook vegetables, you have to fry meat, and all those things I have done simultaneously. That also helped me in my administration as well. If I am a DC, I also do cooking, buying vegetables, visiting relatives, and all those things. So I think women, God make us very special, because as a woman, I can do many things. I went to the kitchen to see onions, salt, sugar, milk are there in the fridge or not, something like that. So I think that's why if women try their level best in every sphere of life where they wanted to be, entrepreneurs, administrator, politicians, or church leaders, we can do very well. In Mizoram, where Mizoram is a patriarchal society. Even though it's a patriarchal society, I think if we women really wanted to have a choice in politics, or if we want to go into politics, we really do have a chance. When I look at the psyche of a woman, I feel that women really want security. If I contest in an MLA, if I'm not elected, we feel that 5 years will be wasted. And we really wanted security. So I think if, like Professor Ade has said, that if a seat is reserved for women, that there is a clear chance of winning in politics. And I appreciate Professor Ade and Dr. Laltangpui for fighting for the welfare of I always paid attention to my surroundings, to the stakeholders, to the rules and guidelines where I have a role to play, something like that. I think that makes me efficient in my duty as well, because we women, we can do many things at a time together, and that is what makes us unique. And I'll speak a few words in Mizo as well, because I feel that today is my special day. In International Women's Day celebrations, MZU tena hetianga in lo buat say hi kahlimin kaloma min som hi karil rutsung ril tak nu mewing som tla ka min ngai min recognize hi kalom mani ti kan sei dua tin Professor Ane te ma'am te kahlim ma chan chu mei chia achang kang ma sa in lo nia mei chia te ta na elected local bodies ate mei chia reservation kan an nei ta te hi nang mani Professor Ane te Professor Kati Pitlani Theological College tele pikim te po anianga pima pui te hetiang ina ma lai changa in atila in lo be chin khav inia atak ram alo la changa alo chang ta hi lo mom ka tia Dela hetilaya state legislature me chia kan thut ve hum ni tur te hi ala thengang lola beile chang ula tikha kan dua to na chena ka sai to ang khanin me chia te hi te lai changin in chu nga han rol poi mo tak kan play ya mun phia te in suk te rong bol te khanga khan kan te lai chang hianin kan mai lova chung rol poi mo tak kan play role duties familia kan nei te hianin kan na hian min lo ti tangkai mea tin population han thirin hovela mi cheng chan ve ti tiang hi meichia kan lo nia meichia le pi pa changrwala kan changrwal lo chuanin ro rel na te po hi a bias theita ni mi pa chawina rowan rel chuanin mi pa point of view atang ringut khan ron lo rel theita me chia in engi mamo kan nei gender budgeting te kan tia gender ngeni gender chungchang workshop sang kan nei aten khovela cheng me che chan ve hi khovela cheng chan ve hi me chia kan ni wangin me chia te mamo in shat to na me chia pon mi pa mamo in shat to na from ro rel na te po me chia hi achan ve mo khan ni ila chu Mizoram hi he ai han kan la changkang sutin ka ringa in po ni ta sela khalam pang khachu topic danga te workshop ate ila nei tai la ve inia meichia te mizozi nga kan din mun asang chozela amai ro chu ko ushana le politics ai ro chuanin kan la dai dar hlei theilawa bazara han kalila meichia de ve kan lo nia office a han kalila plak china chon meichia kan tamjok zela chuta chuanin meichia hianin engeni thatna that na kan nei ba ka thorim na taimak na kan neya mi pa te nei lo quality tam tak kan ne india hianin International Women's Day hianin meichia te hianin kan theina society chung kwa ram thei to pakan chhuat chhozel theinan invite in International Women Days chibai ka buk vek chewe kalome.
Thank you, Siti Zwali, for your wonderful and very informative speech. Thank you so much for that. And then if you could share more about your experience in the recent past, it would be very interesting, but at the same time, that aspect it might not be so, and we feel very honored to have you in our midst and raising this occasion as a special guest. So thank you so much and for your speech, and at the same time for sharing such wonderful experience also. So I may actually share a few things that has been highlighted by you in Mizo once again. So she talked about actually the requirement and the need of the political empowerment of women, especially in the state of Mizoram. And besides that, the empowerment of women is also very much required in the charge organization also. So that is also much debated by women in the state of Mizoram. Then let us hope that a time will come that our society is fairly paying, or even the government of Mizoram, even the leaders of the church, even those who are in a position to make a change. So the empowered section, the male section, has to empower the female, the less empowered section of the society. That is much needed of this very society. That's why she talked about it also. Then she also says about when we go to the market and we find majority are the female vendors than street hawkers, something like that. Of course, it is true. I remember it was in 2016, we conducted a special refresher course on women's studies. Then we had a field visit and a field survey also, that there in the Bara Bazar, Mizoram, Aizo city, we moved around with the participants, about 40 participants. Then we collected information and sent out even a questionnaire. Then almost 95% were the female, vegetable vendors there in the Bara Bazar. Then they become a seller of even meat. They are cutting the chicken, they are cutting pork, they are cutting beefs and all. But when we ask them who is the holder of the family bank account, so more than majority have answered that the bank account has been actually registered in the name of the husband. So they say that they don't have a final saying regarding the money that has been earned in a day, of the hard labor. So the final saying rests in the hands of the husband. So that is the answer we have received. So then when we go to the Millennium Center, then 90%, 96% become the actually shop, waiter or runner, something like that, there in Millennium Center also. So still then among those, Millennium Center shop owner, so the final saying authority is not in their hand. So what I mean to say is that, as per maybe Maria's information, so among the Mizo women, so economic empowerment is also very much important. So when it comes to the property and all, movable, unmovable, everything is, I should say, almost 100% is in the hands of the male member in the family. So when family purchase even a plot of land, so LSC has been done, so it has been registered in the name of the husband, even a movable one like car and all. So this is how where we have to actually cover many miles so that we find gender equality for a better sustainable future. So that are the some few things that has been shared by Maria C.T. Zwali in her speech. So many more are to be found. So when we talk about, even of course, women are advanced, women are developed, but they are not empowered. That is how the academic used to say among the main society, in the society of Mizoram, regarding the status of women in the state of Mizoram. So this is what we say. But when women are given a proper chance, an equal chance, to participate, when we see the results of the HSLC and all, and the result of the BA, and the result of MA, even the result of PhD and all. So majority are female, and they become a topper. So in the last, 4-5 years, not exactly last 4-5 years, in the Mizoram University, who are the toppers, who are the prize winners, majority are the female. So that is how we find when they have an equal chance, they can do well, and they can do better than average men also. This is what we find. So a time will come, and a time is coming also, that women are given equal chance to participate in the decision-making body level also, be it a national, be it a state, be it a local level also. This is the agenda, the chapter that we are to actually read, and we are to master, and we are to pass in this by this very present society. So that she felt, actually very much the absence of the female political decision maker in the state of Mizoram. So this has to be actually, done as soon as possible without delaying anymore. Then at the same time, supplementing her points, I also would like to actually share with the participants, even our chief guest and guest of honor, even the special guest on this very platform, that we do have, of course, a seat reservation for the local self-governance institutions, as I said, but it is much lesser than the provision of the Constitutional Amendment Act. But we could have more than 800 women elected representative in the state of Mizoram due to the intervention of the Panchayat Mahila Shakti Abhiyan Core Committee, where P. Lallimpui was also very much involved, and I also very much involved in that as a member, as a chairperson of that very committee. But many miles are to be covered to reach the acceptable level. Right now, we have a seat reservation for the VC 27.27 something. Then for the local council, we could have, 26.80 something like a seat reservation, where the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act has actually provided not less than 33%, and many states have already upgraded from 33 to 50%. So a time will come that we do also enjoy with the female, the women in the state of Mizoram also the same thing. P. Maria C.T. Zwali knows it so well, where she was looking after the State Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. She has been inviting, and I'm also going to be acting as a resource person in the days to come. Day after tomorrow, I did it last week also. So they have called for the female elected representative, really, who are serving in the local council presently. So we could have, we could not have even 2% in the past, But after seat reservation, we could have more than 26 or 27 women participating in these local bodies as a decision maker. So this is actually a big change and then a big promotion in the state of Mizoram. So I give a due regard and respect and salute those who are involving deeply in the fighting of seat reservation of women and championing this seat reservation in the state of Mizoram, but that is not enough. So we talk about AMC. In AMC, out of 19 wards, we could have 6 wards as seat reservation for women. So that is 32.75. It is lesser than 33 once again. Then right now in the present, AMC, we could have 8 out of 19 to could win actually in the general seat. This is also a welcome change and then encouraging things that in the state of Mizoram. So a time will come that women are also becoming a change agent and a change maker more, even in the state legislative assembly, when we have a female chief minister, and then the position of women would be much, much better than what we are having right now. So these are the supplementation and the comment that I can give on the speech given by the Maria Siti Zwaili. Thank you so much for your kindness and accepting your, our humble invitation to act and grace this very occasion as a special guest in spite of your busy schedule. I know being a mother and a father of 3 children, and then I hope you don't mind to spell out in that way, mother of and father of 3 children is not an easy thing, and becoming a very responsible person as a senior officer in the state of Mizoram, having so many official works to carry out in your dignified office. So thank you so much for your kindness and sparing your valuable time with us, and we will be meeting again and again. So the Mizoram University is always behind you and always actually supporting you also for the cause of the good governance. Thank you for that once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, is there any other thing which is left out? And Dr. Lalchan Pui Ralte, who is Associate Professor in the Department of Public Administration, who too is also having very heavy responsibility in Mizoram University. So I may not share many things with you regarding that. So I have been depending always on her only when we are going to organize a webinar or any other activities, be it in the name of the Department of Public Administration, be it in the name of the Women's Study Center. So we both are in the Mizoram University as a teacher in the Department of Public Administration. So we have been actually, doing together always, and then she is indispensable, of course, and then very much reliable. So that's why she too is also to engage open elective where different departments are sending their right now it is not exactly from different departments. We have such open elective courses that she has to engage from 10 to 12, but she could spare her time with us, and then she will be administering the Q&A, even the chat box also. If anything is to be decided, then she will take care. Then I may not take my turn anymore, and I take undue opportunity of this, very second that I extend my heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor and our guest of honor, P. Lalchan Pui and P. Maria, our special guest in this very program. And I say thank you to all the participants, even to Dr. Chan Pui. Then I also say thank you to Mr. Suraj, who is a technician in the ICT Mizoram University. Anyway, a formal vote of thanks will be actually proposed by Dr. Lalchan Pui after the Q&A session is over. So this is how we are going to conduct. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Chan Pui.
Thank you, Madam. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We haven't got Q&As in the chat box here, but there is one that has been sent to me by WhatsApp. That is for the first one is for Pilal Limpui. The question is, what were your experiences as a legislator? Did you face any discrimination in the legislature? Limpui, if you would like to give a reply to that. Maybe she is, okay, she's still muted. So could it be because of that?
I will just call her up, and then if she picks, and then she will be joining, I hope.
Okay, thank you. And another one is, the second one is for P. Maria. After your stint as a deputy commissioner, was there any aftermath to your efforts towards the improvement of governance system and in your fights against corruption?
Yes, wherever I am posted in my capacity as Planning Additional Secretary or Food Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs, I will still fight for corruption, injustice, and also try my level best to install good governance in my state. I'll try to influence my colleague, my subordinates, my staff to apply good governance because we government servant are public servant. We are sitting in our table to serve the people. So I'll try with all my might to bring justice, to bring, to curb illegal activities as well.
Thank you. I hope it answers the questions that were asked. I think no meeting can end without a formal vote of thanks. So I would like to render the formal vote of thanks if P. Limpui is not going to answer the question.
I could talk to her. I just left, she said. Then I asked whether you did face discrimination as a female among your, legislator. Then she said, I did not exactly feel to pinpoint in that way. So that is the answer that has been given by Pilal Limpui. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, madam. So I think I should be, since we are ahead of time, I think I should be rendering the formal vote of thanks, without which no meeting can end. So firstly, I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor, who is a chief guest, for joining us in spite of currently undergoing treatment, and for the accolades that he has given to the women of Mizoram, and always being an encourager, as well as giving opportunities to the women in the university too. And the guest of honors today, I think the guest of honor and the special guest today are people who are truly benefiting to be called change makers. We feel that you fit in very well to the very theme of our meeting, of our webinar, and you have been the people who are fearlessly working to bring changes in the state. Thank you for sparing your time in the midst of your tight schedule. Pilal Limpui, the guest of honor, who is a former minister, government of Mizoram, we would like to thank you for the encouraging words and hope that your dreams of having more legislators in the state would soon be a reality. In absentia, I would also like to thank Pilal Limpui for her contribution towards the development of the state, and Also, P. Maria Siti Zwali, our special guest of the day, who is also the Additional Secretary, Food, Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs, and others. We applaud you for your tireless and gallant works to bring about good governance and your fight against corruption. Thank you for opening our eyes on the suitability of the multitasking women as administrators, legislators, and also in various other arenas. Now, I cannot forget the participants without whom this webinar would have been nonsensical. We thank you for making the webinar a success, and we wish that we will have a continued relationship with all of you. Let us all work together for the themes of the International Women's Day this year, gender equality today for a sustainable development tomorrow. Break the bias. Thank you all, and happy International Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kan lom P. Maria, we will be meeting soon in person. Yeah. Thank you so much, GP. Wonderful
Thank you,
proposed
ma'am.
vote of thanks. So
Thank
I'm
you.
going to close. Okay, thank you
I'm
so
ending
much.
the meeting from my side.
Yeah.